Many people believe that memory decline is just a natural part of aging, but according to the World Health Organization and leading medical research, that's only half true. What truly damages the brain often starts with small daily habits, things we don't even notice. When you isolate yourself socially, your brain receives fewer emotional and cognitive stimuli, slowly weakening its neural connections. When you smoke or overuse alcohol, the blood vessels that supply oxygen to your brain start to narrow, starving brain cells over time. When you rely too heavily on sleeping pills or sedatives, the brain's natural rhythm of repair and memory consolidation is disrupted. And when chronic conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure are left unchecked, they quietly erode memory and focus long before any symptom appears. The truth is, memory loss isn't just about age, it's about the way we live. In this video, we'll uncover 7 everyday habits that silently damage your memory after 60, backed by research from global health institutions and neurology experts. If you or someone you love wants to stay mentally sharp and independent for years to come, this might be one of the most important things you'll ever learn. Because protecting your brain starts with understanding what's harming it, often without you even knowing. Number 1. Social isolation. Most people don't realize how powerful human connection is for the brain, but according to multiple JAMA Network and World Health Organization studies, older adults who live in social isolation face a 25 to 60% higher risk of developing dementia compared to those who stay socially active. Large cohort studies consistently show that loneliness and isolation don't just affect mood, they directly influence survival. Socially disconnected seniors experience higher rates of disability, mortality, and cognitive decline, confirming that isolation is a modifiable risk factor for dementia. Why does this happen? Because social interaction stimulates key brain regions responsible for language, memory, and emotional regulation. Without that stimulation, neural networks begin to weaken, leading to slower thinking, reduced recall, and increased vulnerability to depression, all of which accelerate memory loss. It's not just about having company. Regular social engagement gives the brain exercise, keeping it flexible and resilient even as we age. What you can do right now: call a family member or friend for a short 10 to 20-minute video chat each day. Join a local club, reading group, or community class where you can interact face to face. If possible, volunteer once or twice a week. Giving back keeps both your heart and your brain active. Remember, staying socially connected isn't just about happiness. It's one of the most powerful ways to protect your memory and independence after 60. Number 2. Smoking and secondhand smoke. Lighting up doesn't just damage your lungs, it quietly rewires your brain. According to large-scale research published in PMC and health analyses reported by The Guardian, smoking is one of the clearest risk factors for both Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia. Across multiple long-term studies, smokers show a 20–40% higher risk of developing dementia even after adjusting for age and lifestyle. The science is undeniable. Nicotine constricts blood vessels, carbon monoxide deprives your brain of oxygen, and chronic inflammation slowly erodes the brain's vascular system. Over time, these effects reduce blood flow to critical memory regions like the hippocampus, impairing concentration, recall, and problem solving. Secondhand smoke is no safer. Even occasional exposure can trigger similar vascular and oxidative stress in non-smokers, especially older adults. But here's the good news: your brain begins to heal once you stop. Research shows that within a few years of quitting, cognitive decline slows, and the risk of dementia gradually drops, narrowing the gap between former smokers and non-smokers. What you can do right now: talk to your doctor about a structured quit program or nicotine replacement therapy. Both significantly improve success rates. Avoid indoor environments with smoke exposure and build a support system of friends or groups who encourage your progress. Quitting isn't just about breathing easier, it's about thinking clearer, remembering longer, and protecting the brain that defines who you are. Number 3. Overuse of sleeping pills or tranquilizers. Many people turn to sleeping pills as a quick fix for restless nights. But long-term use can quietly take a toll on your brain. According to research published in the BMJ and multiple medical reviews, prolonged use of benzodiazepines and sedating antihistamines is linked to a higher risk of dementia in older adults. While not every study agrees on the exact numbers, the trend is consistent enough to raise concern. Regular or extended use without strict medical supervision can impair memory and cognitive health. Here's why. These medications slow down brain activity, suppress REM sleep, and interfere with the brain's natural nighttime repair cycle. Over time, that suppression can dull short-term memory, reduce attention span, and even affect emotional regulation. Benzodiazepines, such as diazepam, lorazepam, or alprazolam, were never meant for indefinite use, yet many older adults continue them for months or years, often without follow-up evaluation. This silent dependence can worsen anxiety, disrupt sleep quality, and increase the risk of daytime confusion or falls. What you can do: talk openly with your doctor before stopping or reducing any sleep medication. Discuss safe tapering options and ask about cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, a clinically proven, non-drug approach endorsed by the National Institutes of Health. You can also build better sleep hygiene. Go to bed at the same time each night, limit caffeine after noon, dim lights before bedtime, and avoid screens at least 30 minutes before sleep. Remember, good rest doesn't require sedation. Protecting your memory starts with restoring natural quality sleep, not chemically forced sleep. Number 4. Too much salt and not enough water. What you eat and drink can quietly shape how your brain ages. According to the World Health Organization, consuming too much salt raises blood pressure. High blood pressure is one of the strongest and most preventable risk factors for stroke and vascular dementia. At the same time, mild dehydration, something common among older adults, can temporarily impair memory, focus, and mood. Your brain is about 75% water. Even a small drop in hydration can reduce blood flow and oxygen delivery. That leads to slower thinking, confusion, and fatigue. Research summarized in PMC shows that older adults who are even slightly dehydrated score lower on short-term cognitive tests. Meanwhile, chronic high sodium intake damages the small arteries that feed the brain. Over time, this makes it harder for neurons to get the nutrients they need. Gradually, that can contribute to brain shrinkage and cognitive decline. What you can do right now: keep your daily salt intake below 5 to 6 grams, roughly 1 teaspoon, as recommended by the WHO. Read nutrition labels carefully and cut back on processed foods, canned soups, and salty snacks. Drink 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day, unless your doctor advises otherwise due to heart or kidney conditions. A simple rule: if your mouth feels dry, your brain is already thirsty. Flavor your water with lemon or herbs instead of salt-heavy sauces. Small changes like this can make a big difference. Keeping your body balanced helps your mind stay sharp and your independence strong. Number 5. Too much passive TV watching. It might feel relaxing to unwind in front of the TV, but hours of passive watching can quietly dull your brain over time. Studies published in PNAS and other journals have found that adults who watch more than 3 hours of television per day experience faster cognitive decline than those who stay mentally or physically active. Researchers note that while this doesn't prove a direct cause, the link is consistent and concerning. Why? Because television is a passive activity. Your brain isn't challenged to process new information, solve problems, or engage socially. Instead, it slips into a low activity state, fewer neural connections, less stimulation, and slower reaction times. Over years, that pattern may erode attention span, working memory, and mental flexibility. It's not about cutting TV entirely, it's about balance. If you enjoy your favorite shows, that's okay. But limit total screen time to under 2 hours a day. And make space for brain-stimulating habits. Read for 20 minutes. Do a crossword puzzle. Learn a new recipe. Play chess. Or even try a few minutes of a new language app. Each of these activates different parts of your brain, helping form new synapses and preserve memory. Experts also note that light physical activity, like stretching during commercials or walking in place, boosts blood flow to the brain. So next time you pick up the remote, remember, your brain thrives on engagement, not autopilot. Small changes in how you spend your time today can protect how clearly you think tomorrow. Number 6. Stopping mental exercise. When we stop challenging our minds, our brain slowly loses its sharpness, just like muscles that weaken when we stop moving. Studies published in PMC and other neurological journals show that adults who regularly engage in mentally stimulating activities, reading, puzzles, learning new skills, have 30–50% lower risk of cognitive decline compared to those who don't. That's because the brain depends on constant stimulation to maintain synaptic plasticity, the ability of nerve cells to form and strengthen connections. Without it, those connections fade, making it harder to learn, recall, and focus. This process doesn't happen overnight. It builds quietly over years of mental idling. The good news? You can reverse that trend at any age. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day of new learning can reactivate brain pathways and improve mental flexibility. It doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Try learning a few new words in another language. Write something by hand instead of typing. Play a simple musical instrument or do small math exercises in your head. Even teaching a grandchild a new skill stimulates both memory and emotion, two key drivers of brain health. Think of your brain as a garden. If you stop watering it, it slowly dries out. But if you feed it with curiosity, creativity, and small challenges, it can keep growing strong, even past 70 or 80. So don't let your brain retire just because you did. Keep it active, keep it learning, because a learning brain is a living brain. Number 7. Ignoring chronic conditions. High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol. Let's be honest, most memory problems after 60 don't come from aging. They come from uncontrolled health issues slowly damaging the brain. Research published in PMC and the Lancet Neurology confirms that uncontrolled diabetes can double the risk of dementia, while long-term high blood pressure and cholesterol silently weaken blood vessels in the brain. When glucose and blood pressure stay elevated, they trigger chronic inflammation and vascular injury, cutting off oxygen and nutrients that brain cells need to survive. Over time, this leads to smaller brain volume, poorer memory, and slower thinking. You may not feel it day to day, but the brain notices every missed checkup and every skipped medication. That's why controlling chronic diseases is one of the most powerful memory protection strategies we have. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Keep your HbA1c within your doctor's recommended range. Monitor blood pressure regularly and aim for stable readings, not just good days. Eat heart-healthy meals rich in fiber, vegetables, and omega-3s. Add gentle to moderate exercise, like walking 30 minutes a day on most days of the week. And don't forget routine medical reviews. They catch changes before symptoms appear. Think of it this way: protecting your heart and blood sugar means protecting your brain, because every stable heartbeat and balanced glucose reading is one more step toward a clear, independent, and confident life, well into your later years. Connection. Small choices, big impact. All the habits we just discussed share a common thread. They are low cost, modifiable, and quietly accumulate their effects over time. No single behavior instantly erases memory, but repeated patterns year after year slowly chip away at cognitive resilience. Social isolation, passive screen time, poor hydration, uncontrolled chronic conditions, each alone may seem minor, yet together they create a perfect storm for memory decline and reduced independence. Scientific reviews, including those in JAMA Network, emphasize that cumulative lifestyle factors are stronger predictors of cognitive health than genetics alone. The good news is that small changes compound. Calling a friend daily, taking short walks, learning a new word, or cutting back on salt may seem trivial, but combined consistently, these actions fortify your brain, boost synaptic activity, and help maintain memory. Think of it as a bank account for your brain. Each positive choice is a deposit, each harmful habit a withdrawal. Over decades, deposits outweigh withdrawals and can preserve sharpness, confidence, and independence. The key is consistency, not perfection. Even modest steps, taken daily, stack up to significant protection against cognitive decline. It's never too late to start. The sooner you begin, the more your brain benefits. Don't wait until your memory starts to fade to make changes. Small actions today can have a big impact tomorrow. Call a friend or family member daily to stay socially connected. Drink enough water and limit salty foods to support brain and heart health. Reduce passive screen time and replace it with puzzles, reading, or learning something new. Discuss any long-term medications or sleep issues with your doctor to find safer alternatives. Monitor and manage blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol consistently with medical guidance. Every small change is an investment in your memory, independence, and quality of life. Start with one habit today and add more gradually. Consistency matters more than perfection. Subscribe to the channel for more practical, science-based tips for mindful aging. Remember, this content is for reference only and does not replace medical advice. Always consult your doctor before changing diet, exercise, or medication routines.